You guys, welcome back to the stream. And in today's stream, we will be we did fix a lot of things that were needed to be fixed from our previous stream. And the biggest thing that we changed is we did. Guys, give me 1 second. We did fix a lot of. And the biggest changes that we have made is not any kind of visual change, but we did re-import all of our models from Blender again, and we have to assign all of these scripts again. And the reason for that was, if you look at my let's give an example of carrot. Okay, I deleted the carrots, but okay, we have two pumpkin. So this is the pumpkin that we had earlier, and this is the pumpkin that we have now. So do you guys notice any changes to this? Okay, this is the pumpkin and this is the pumpkin. Okay, if anyone is watching, then please do let me know if you notice any kind of difference into this. You guys might not know, but the main difference between this and this is the pivot point. For this pumpkin, the center is at the center of this body, and for this one the center is at the bottom of this. And to change this, we have to re-import all of this into Blender, and we individually did change the pivot point of every single plant. And the main reason for this is not because it affects our morphing mechanism, not because it breaks any kind of gameplay. The main reason for this is, since we are gonna make the vegetables spawn randomly at runtime, and for them to get spawned we need a point, and we have to predefine some points, and in runtime they are gonna be replaced by the prefabs. And for that to happen, we have to, if we give it as this point, then this is gonna be, if the point is here, okay, if suppose we give the point to be at the bottom of the ground, then if we try to spawn it, then it will be spawned like this pivot point and the point that we have assigned will overlap each other, and it will be like this. And you guys might think the simple fix for that could be, why don't you use the point to be around here? Okay, that works. But since we have our different objects and the height is different, since for this object the pivot point was around here, for this it was around here, so what happens is there is no proper way to get a fixed spawning a fixed spawning mechanism or something like that, because some of the objects are bigger, some are smaller, and depending on their height the pivot point varies, so the position of their spawn would also vary. For example, if I make a point here for this object, considering this object, then I will make the pivot point around here and it will get placed here. But if I try to move this same object, because it's random, we don't know what object is gonna be placed at what place. So since this is the changed one, before it was around here, then we would see a lot of this flower getting stuck inside the ground. And for, if we try to make this for this object, then pumpkin would appear floating in the surface, so that would have been a problem for us. And to solve that, we also had one method that we could have used in Blender. I did try that, and the way to solve it is, if we create an empty parent And for the parent, what we can do is, okay, not this, this is the child, but if we create an empty parent to this, the thing that we can do with this is we can just offset the mean pumpkin body relative to the place where we want. Say now we got the pivot point of this object x to the point where we want it to be. So this fixes it, but there's not a major problem with this. For this we have to individually get one more game object as parent for all of these objects, which is not a bad solution after all. But there were two or three objects that I did import directly from after being created from the Tripo AI. So and the main reason I had to do that was the objects that I did not import into Blender first were having a rotation issue, because once I import these objects into Blender, then the way I export is I change their what do you guys call that? I change their X, Y, and Z axis to match perfectly with Unity, and in that way I get the perfect object without any rotation. And if I do not do that and bring the object directly from the AI after being generated by AI, then we get a 90 degrees rotation in x-axis, and it is fair. We can just rotate the object and manually place it, but once we try to morph it, then we get a rotation value to the morph object and we kind of rotate in the wrong direction. To fix that, we can also create make some changes in our script and introduce rotation to it, but it is a long thing and it is not properly it is not a proper practice for us, so we had to make this change and we did. So that's it, that's what we changed. So we can just remove this game object, bring our pumpkin back. This is the old pumpkin, we don't need it anymore. So now we can just spawn it based on this pivot point, so every object will get spawned exactly where it should be spawned. and and we also have another advantage of this. Since we move the pivot point to the bottom center, then we no longer have to. Where's my pumpkin? I don't need this. I don't need this. Let me just remove all of the game objects that are not being used. Since we have correctly placed our pivot point, we don't need to. We can just mm, now we don't need to change the offset value for this, because the point is placed correctly, so we don't have to do anything to this, and we can just place a box collider and this will work perfectly. See, this is what I was talking about. If you see this object, even if I convert even if I try to convert the axis, we still get it with a default value of rotation. वो उस दिन का डिलीट नहीं किया कर दिया delete।
वो डी ड्राइव में आता है ना।
वो कर सकता है ना तो मैनुअली चेंज, लोकेशन चेंज कर सकता है।
हाँ वो तो कर दिया अभी।
नहीं, रिसीव करते वक्त ही सीधा चेंज करके रख सकता है। यहाँ पे सीधा आता है ना, वहाँ पे चूज लोकेशन करके
हाँ
ऐसे कर।
अभी बंद करेगा क्या वो?
हाँ। Yeah, so guys, I'm back. And what were we discussing about? Yeah, we were just discussing about what are the changes we have made into this. So now I think the pumpkin's size is quite bigger as compared to other objects. So maybe we should make it a bit smaller. Yeah, this seems like a perfect size. And we got four of our objects. So let's fix the other remaining ones. We got flower, carrots, cabbage, lotus. Let's fix the tomato plant. Okay, this is the thing that I was talking about. The previous objects. Okay, this was imported from Blender. So if you guys saw it, once we hit the big axis conversion, we got the straight version of this. And if we check these two objects, see the pivot point, that's what I was talking about. So let's fix this as well. We don't need to make any changes to this. That is a good part for us. So we got five of our objects, and I think this, should we decrease the size of this to 1.8? Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. So we can like keep five objects in a column. I think that would be better. No, the flowers are not going to be part of this. These are going to be part of the outer land. We have one more, this plant, and I don't know why, but the outlines are not getting appeared for this plant. I don't really know the reason for this, but if I try with this plant, then it is getting materials properly, but this plant is not getting the outlines. It has some kind of scattered dots in place of outline. So I don't know the reason for this. Maybe we should try to remove this, delete this, get back to Blender, or maybe re-import this. I didn't mean to duplicate. This is the hub. I'm still not getting the quite the effect that I wanted it to have. Maybe I should create a new material for this. What the fuck is wrong with this? Why am I not getting the outlines? Everything looks good. I don't know why, but we are getting these kind of dotted lines. And once we morph, we get the correct. Fuck, guys. What is wrong with this? I am not able to figure this out. Did I change something in Blender? I don't think we changed something that could affect this part of our materialistic view, but I don't know if that was the reason for that. So maybe we should try to figure this out ourselves. Oh, it looks different. Maybe I should just try to re-import this. Go back to Unity inside of assets, maybe, and inside of hide and morph and inside of vegetation. That was mm, okay. I guess it was hog. So we can't just do that. We have to import it. So guys, I'll show you how to change the pivot point of this to where we wanna have it to be. Increase the G value. The point is perfect. So we just go to object and set origin to 3D cursor, and now we got the pivot point. Do you guys see the yellow point? This is the pivot point, and we got it to the place where we wanted it to be. So now let's try Exporting this. This is it has this. Or should we also try to bring it with Texas? Maybe that was the reason for this not working. So let's try that. Okay, let's see if this works. What the fuck is wrong with this? Why is this not working? If I try this on any other object, it works. But it is not working for this plant. And this plant was one of my favorite plants. So I don't really wanna change this plant, but let's see where our previous. If I bring this one and get it here. For this one it works, but I don't know why it is not working for the one that I made after changing the pivot point. Since we are not gonna be placing this at runtime, so I think it is fine for us to have the pivot point at around here. We still have the straighter version of this, so I don't think it should matter that much. So let's remove this one and let's work with our hub. Maybe the outline looks a bit darker. Decrease it. Now it looks perfect. Since we have the pivot point of this, You guys, welcome back again. So what were we doing? We have to add a box collider to this, and also we have to offset this since build. Okay, was there a shortcut for build? Build and run. Let me check. Oh, Control plus B. Okay, that I didn't know that. Now I'm gonna be using that anytime I have to build and run this. Maybe the outlines are let's make it bigger. No, 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 no. It looks way bigger now. I think the size was perfect. The way it is. Mm, yeah. So let's check how everything is working. If everything is working correctly. Before that, let's also fix the lotus and we will be done with this. Okay, this is the lotus that we fixed. Just change, and we are still not getting the outline effects in this, and I don't know why this is happening, but okay. For this, if we try and try to use this, see, we are getting the material properly, but for this one we are not getting the material properly, and I don't know the reason for that. If we see, the only difference we have in this and this is we have the mist filter for this, then we have the material, and for this we have the material first and then mist filter. Let's try to compare that with everything else. We have the mist filter and material, mist filter and material. So let's go back to our vegetables, lotus, mist filter and material. This should have worked. I don't know why this is not working. Maybe we have to remove this one as well. And since lotus is also not gonna be spawned on runtime, so it does not matter. It doesn't matter that much, but still, let's bring it back to where. So I don't think we need this because we already have our lotus. And for these lotus, we have to like kind of animate this as well so that they move along with the waves. We'll do that later into our project, but for now let's see if we are able to morph into all of this correctly. Before that, let me increase the size of the radius. Let's have it as 3. For our carrot, we have not added any of the scripts, so let's fix that. Since we have changed the pivot point for the carrot, we don't need to make any changes to this. We have already added the box collider, so now it's time for us to add the outline script. Yeah, that's it. Let's increase the radius for this. Let's also increase the radius for this. Okay, so let's build and run with the shortcut key that we have just figured out. हाँ, क्या हुआ? क्या बोल रहा है brother? So let's try how everything is. I think we are facing some kind of lag into this. Maybe we have to increase the outlines strength. I guess we forgot to add outline for this, and we are also facing lag. Yeah, we are facing major frame drops. So we will be placing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have only 4 plants. We can just duplicate this, right? So we need 5, 10, 15 plants in total, and we will create prefab of 12 plants and 3 will be kept empty. Let's go to our prefabs environment, name this to spawn prefabs. Before that, let's make the outline value to 5. We have it as 8, so we have to make this 8 and just select all of this. The herb, tomato, the pumpkin. This is flower. The flower, the cabbage. For lotus, let's not create a prefab for lotus right now. We don't need this cube as well. Watering pot, also we don't need prefab for this. Now we also don't need a prefab for this, so these are the only 4 plants that we need. But still we don't need to remove it from here. So let's just remove these. Save this. And now we have to create spawn points. Fence. We don't have. Okay, this is the fence. Scarecrow, lotus, lotus, watering pot, lotus again. Let's delete this lotus and flower. Yeah. Let's create a folder. Let's create an empty game object. Name this as farm. From here to here, side of farm. So now we got clear. Now we don't need plain. Okay, let's skip stones as it is for now. Now it's time to create spawn points. Two, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We need 15 points, right? First, let's see. Let's arrange the point 1 to the point 1 where we want it to be. This seems perfect. So the y value for all of these points should be around 5.19, maybe 5.2, 5.1. Now let's go to the top view and arrange this properly. Point 2 around here, point 3 here, point 4 here. Let's just keep 4 spawn points per column for now. Okay, now it's time to create 12 of this. One, two, three. And where are the carrots? Fuck. Did I forget to make the prefab of carrots? Seems I did. Seems I did forget. One, two, three, and four. Yeah, it's perfect now. So now we have to duplicate this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Let's create one more. If we do that, then people will know by counting the number of, yeah, they will probably know by counting the number of vegetables we have. Suppose we only have two cabbages, and if they see three cabbages, and they'll know one of them is a fake one. So instead, let's assign that at runtime as well. Why is it taking so much time to just to delete a prefab? Till then, let's head on to Claude and generate a script for that. Okay, we got the script. Gonna be for the gain. Because a network object component. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spawn points 12. So now it's left is to 4, 5. And the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Yeah, from 1 to 11 it is 12, right? So we done at this point. Wait a second. 4. Fuck. Now since we have filled everything, Let's go back to prefabs, environment, and the spawn prefabs, and assign the cabbage, the carrots, the pumpkin, and the tomatoes. And since we do not have anything filled now, so everything is gonna be at runtime. So let's see how this works, or if it is not gonna work, or it is gonna work. We'll find it out. And we did not get any of our prefab spawned. We see the not allowed to access vertices and flower. The fuck is this? Okay, we have to allow. Not this. Let's also try using a high compression for this pumpkin and see the difference in quality for this. Wait guys, I have to. Let's see if it worked this time.
ओए भेजा वीडियो देखा
अभी देखता हूँ. Okay, it is still not getting spawned. And we have to find the reason for that. No network offset component. Do we need network offset in? Yeah, I guess we need network offset in every single one of those prefabs.
आशीष का नंबर है क्या?
आशीष का, हाँ। Okay, since we are spawning this, we have to, maybe we need to have this as a network object. So let's try if anything changes with this. We are spawning this, we have to, maybe we need to have this I really want this to work. Please, 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 please. Still, it's not getting spawned. What the fuck is this? Okay, it did spawn all of this, and okay, I guess it's working now. Everything is getting spawned properly. Since it is randomized, we can see 3 tomato plants here, and the player might think that these could be the fake ones, but these are not the fake ones, these are the real ones, and we are smart enough to transform into the proper one, and we will get spawned to the one that is less suspicious, so that will be a good thing for us. Since the tomato plant is getting way deeper to the ground, should maybe we should increase the spawn point. Increase it a little bit. Okay, let's keep it like this since we already have. What was the height before? 5.2. Let's make it as 5.3. Okay, let's test now.
आशीष का नंबर दे मुझे
डाल देता हूँ।
व्हाट्सएप पे दे दो तुम्हारा है ना मेरे में व्हाट्सएप कर दो तो
व्हाट्सएप पे कर देता हूँ।
और उससे मैसेज करके पूछो तो कहाँ है वो अभी
कॉल ही करके पूछ लो फिर।
आरती दीदी का भी नंबर दे देना ठीक है
उसका नंबर नहीं है मेरे पास।
किसके पास मिलेगा इसके पास मिलेगा
पर्स के पास होगा। हेलो ब्रो, वेयर आर यू? आरती's home. ओके ओके। तो उस रूम में ही है आशीष पहले तो।
कहाँ आरती के पास
हम्म,
नंबर दे दो
ठीक है।
थैंक यू बेटा
Okay, it's time to test the real change that ये सब कैसे? Okay, brother, welcome to the stream, and now I'll show you the real gameplay of this game. What the fuck? It is not getting properly spawned. The original prefabs are only getting spawned, and also there is, if I try to morph into this, I'm getting the tomato one. If I try to morph this, I'm getting this one, and it's getting spawned differently for both the players. So let's fix that. फिर ये बोना बच्चा आगे तर ये मेन कैरेक्टर है ब्रदर. I don't know why my cloud is not working right now. ये सब क्या है, कौन है, ये सब गेम है भाई, तुम समझ कैसे नहीं रहे. And let's go to scripts, go to spawner. Let's remove this, and let's add this script. Spawn points, we have 12, we have 4. Let's see if this is working correctly, because I think we have to, it is gonna take some time for this to get to work properly. Okay, vegetables are getting spawned, but the position of this might not be properly getting synced with other players. So let's check that as well. Okay, I guess now it is working correctly. Let's confirm this. No, they are getting spawned separately for both the players, which is something that I don't want. Now, if I get converted to this, it is proper, but if I get converted to this, then this is a tomato plant. See, something is wrong, guys. I'm only being able to, in my screen, it's proper, but for the hunter, it is not proper. Maybe we should try to. On top of that, my cloud is also not